OCO, beautiful people. Hope you all are doing well. We got something here that has been highly requested by a lot of you inside of my DMs, asking me for my take on this particular situation here dealing with Gucci Mane and his artist, Pooh Shiesty. Now, I saw this as it was going on and I was surprised. I was highly surprised that Pooh Shiesty would do that. Not exactly sure if it's true though, because a lot more information is coming forward. One of the videos that I am going to be playing is Pooh Shiesty's lawyer stating that Gucci Mane is cooperating with the FBI. But let me get caught up real quick. Let me play everything.
The Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty will appear in federal court in Dallas tomorrow. The hearing will determine whether he will be released from federal custody following his kidnapping and robbery charge.
Now, this has, been taking place already. He was denied, but we're going to get into that. Let me just catch up.
Stephen Dial is live with more. Stephen.
Clarice Lontrell Williams Jr., who goes by the rap name Pooh Shiesty, and other defendants, including his father, allegedly robbed and
his father,
someone, one of those persons, Atlanta rapper Gucci Mane, according to federal investigators.
What? I didn't know his father was involved.
Lured him and others to a Dallas music studio. Now, this incident happened back in January, but federal officials brought charges against Pooh Shiesty, his father, another rapper, and others.
Big red flag, big red flag. If it happened back in January and now they're bringing the charges, 4 months later? Sounds like evidence is not there, in my opinion.
Now, these charges include robbery and kidnapping. The FBI says that they set up a meeting with Gucci Mane in Dallas and then held him at gunpoint with an AK-style pistol while demanding to be released from his contract. Federal investigators say that's when they were able to track Williams from his ankle monitor and photos the suspects posted on social media. Williams supposed to be on home confinement for a previous federal case of conspiracy and drug.
Oh yeah, and that's what happened. Just in case people don't know, it was 2022 where he had to serve time for something like that. A couple of charges got dropped and he had to serve time for some gun charges. And he basically got out at the tail end of last year, and he put out a song at the tail end of last year. I think that was in December. I believe the name of that song is First Day Out, and that's what made him go viral again, because people didn't know if he was out or not. And they were like, wait a minute, is he out? And and it stuck around for a little minute. And, now he's trying to get some money, I don't know what happened previously as far as his deal is concerned, if he was making money with Gucci Mane, but I did see him a lot in a lot of videos with Gucci. Like him and Pooh Shiesty were, they were seen a lot. So it's kind of weird that all of a sudden now there was a problem. So apparently it was contractual. I really think that Pooh Shiesty made the wrong move by, trying to force himself out of his deal with Gucci Mane that way. Because now you got to pay for lawyers. So you should have just paid your lawyers to get you out of that deal. As a matter of fact, your lawyers could have been with you at that meeting that you had down there in Dallas, Texas. So that would have been the better play to do it legally. And yeah, you probably could have got some money up out of that too, depending on the situation. I don't know what his contract looks like, but apparently it must have been bad. Something was wrong because he wanted out. All right, so let's continue.
Williams and the other suspects are also accused of stealing watches, jewelry, and cash from Gucci Mane and his associates. I spoke to the attorney representing Williams Jr. He told me in a statement, quote, "We will have his detention and probable cause hearing tomorrow. We expect to contest those."
Jewelry.
Looking forward to
the cash.
More details we don't think the complaint reveals. Now, a few days ago, a judge granted a bond to Pooh Shiesty's father, Williams Sr. He posted that bond, but a federal judge stepped in and told him to stay in custody until things get sorted out. Again, Clarice, tomorrow is when Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Jr. will be in court to see if he can be released on bond.
Okay, so let's play that real quick.
A federal judge ordered Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., who goes by Pooh Shiesty, to stay in custody after federal officials brought kidnapping and robbery charges against him.
Fox 4 Stephen Dial was in the courtroom today. He is outside tonight with.
So this was the next day.
What happened, Stephen?
Steve, I sat directly behind Lontrell Williams Jr., who you guys said goes by the rap name Pooh Shiesty, for the entire hearing in the very small, tightly packed courtroom. And after back and forth from the prosecution and the defense, the federal judge said that she found probable cause in the alleged kidnapping and robbery charges that Williams Jr. faces and involving Atlanta rapper Gucci Mane. And as the FBI special agent was giving testimony, I could see Williams Jr. shaking his head multiple times in disagreement with all of the allegations being laid out against him. This incident happened back in January, and federal officials actually charged and arrested multiple individuals, including Williams' father and another rapper known as Big 30 and other suspects last week. Williams has a record deal with Atlanta rapper Gucci Mane under the new 1017 record label. The FBI says that Pooh Shiesty pointed an AK-style pistol while demanding to be released from his contract. Investigators say that they were able to track Williams from his ankle monitor and photos suspects allegedly posted on.
Now, I have that video.
Williams Jr. legal team argued that there's many holes in the FBI's narrative of what happened.
And I agree. And I have the video of the lawyers. I'm getting ready to play that now. But the other guy that was with Pooh Shiesty, I'm getting ready to play that video too, because he was arrested as well. Let me play that.
Memphis rapper with the stage name Big 30 was granted a $100,000 bond today. He was in federal court as he faced charges for an alleged robbery and kidnapping of the rapper known as Gucci Mane. Action News 5's Imani Williams joins us now live from
Why he say his name like that?
Inside the courtroom during the detention hearing.
Gucci Mane.
Joe, it was a packed house today. I mean, there were dozens of people inside that federal courtroom in support of Rodney Wright Jr., also known, like you said, as Big 30. Now, the defendants had two people that they brought to the witness stand. Those two people were Big 30's dad and also the general manager of Endless Entertainment. I want you to take a look at your screen so you can kind of see what we saw in this complaint. So Big 30's dad said that his son stays with him at home and he takes care of his kids. And the GM at Endless Entertainment, he said that Big 30 has some contractual agreements that he has to go through with putting out music and putting out albums. Now, the prosecution brought up his criminal history, including a gun charge in 2018, but it was wiped off of his record after diversion. That nothing really on his record but driving violations. Now, the judge said that she took criminal history, family support, and his alleged involvement in the incident all into account when going through this detention hearing today. She said the complaint does not show him having a gun or pulling a weapon out. I spoke with attorney Arthur Horn about the bond granted, and he said there's more to it.
Initially, I guess she found that there was probable cause for the case to move forward. And then today in the detention hearing, she did grant him a bond of a secure bond of $100,000.
Okay, so he's out.
Is it the Northern District of Dallas? He's going to file an appeal, and they're going to appeal the judge's decision, and we will have to have another detention hearing in Texas.
Now, the government has already documented and put in that stay. I just looked at it in my email just a few minutes ago. So the government has put in that stay to wait for an appeal from the Northern District of Texas. But this also surrounds a contract between rapper Gucci Mane and his 1017 label and Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty. Now, Horn said that Gucci Mane is not being cooperative with the government on this case. And so he questioned if the government will have a case because Gucci Mane is not cooperating. He said it will make it hard for them to do that. Live downtown.
Interesting that she said that, or interesting that Big 30's lawyer said that, because Pooh Shiesty's lawyer says something totally different, and I'm getting ready to play that now. So this is the full video of Pooh Shiesty's lawyer, and he indicates within this particular video that Gucci Mane is cooperating. And he's using his real name, though. They're going to say R.D.
Ready? What'd you say your name?
Let me make sure.
Yeah, Bradford Cohen, C-O-H-E-N, Sam Zangane, and John Helms.
And any questions, just look straight in the middle.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
So we had a bond hearing today and a PC hearing today. I think that the relevant things that were said today that I thought were fascinating were that it took 3 months to build a case. And I think the reason for that was because the statements that were given on the evening that this occurred were very questionable. I think the way that the statements were made, what allegedly was witnessed and what wasn't witnessed, I think gave great pause to the FBI. The FBI doesn't take 3 months to arrest someone if they believe everything that was said on the night that it occurred. They involved the first night, and then nothing happened for 3 months. In addition to that I thought was quite embarrassing, was that an FBI agent says they don't have the resources to keep their eye on an individual. This is allegedly an individual that committed a crime that they then didn't watch to see if the guns were present, if the jewelry was present. And what didn't we hear today? What we didn't hear today is there is no contract, this mystery contract. They have no contract. They have no video of this alleged signing of a contract. They have no guns. They have no jewelry. They have none of that physical evidence. What they have is they have allegedly 5 individuals, one of them being a very well-known individual that is allegedly cooperating with the government and making allegations against my client and many more.
Okay, there we go. So there it is. So he's stating that the FBI is stating that Gucci Mane is cooperating with them. And now he's coming out and saying that. Interesting.
I'm going to take like 1 or 2 questions and then we're going to scoop.
You're essentially arguing they've got only a he said kind of case, no evidence.
Correct. Yeah, it's very fair. I think that this is it's a he said type of case. I mean, obviously, there's 5 individuals on one side. What we're missing are the other people that were present in the room, right? The owner of the studio who says he didn't hear anything or see anything. The way they leave the studio, where no one is in concert with anybody else, no one's arguing with anyone else. One of the individuals says, "Hey, can I get my watches back?" Like, the story is quite unusual. And I think that the FBI knew that. I think the investigators knew that it was unusual. And I think that's why it took so long to make the arrest.
Well, I mean, at the same time, that's still questionable, because why would anybody be asking for their jewelry back? That's one. 2, how can you state that they don't have anything? I mean, for the FBI to take, it is questionable that the FBI took 3 months to get everything together, because usually the FBI doesn't make a move until they have everything together. And then they, have all their evidence. But it sounds like they're still going through the discovery phase. And I mean, Pooh Shiesty's lawyer has the right arguments, but again, you don't know what the FBI has right now, especially if you're still going through the discovery phase. Well, let me see. Let me see.
The judge saying that, your client still violated the terms of his ankle monitor location.
Sure, those are all things that are going to be, flushed out. The fact is that he was allowed to be in certain areas at certain times. That really wasn't an argument for today. I wasn't really even going to make that argument. My main thrust of today was to really push on the evidence and see exactly what they had and when they had. How about this? How about the individual who who actually drafted the complaint, who was sitting in the courtroom, who's only been an FBI agent for 4 years, does not take the stand. They put someone else on to say what she wrote in her own complaint when she's sitting in the courtroom. And that's done quite often in gamesmanship, because they don't want to put a rookie on the stand and be measured by our legal team.
How far away is this from trial?
Oh, who knows? We're going to get discovery. We'll take a look at their discovery. They're going to say it's ongoing. I mean,
okay, wait. So this discovery is still happening. They're prolonging. You don't know what they have, but you would think that they would put the pressing issues, like the definitive evidence, up front in order, to get the point across to the judge. So something is iffy about this.
They had 3 months to get this stuff. They had 3 months to get warrants. They didn't get warrants that night. They didn't get warrants the next night. They didn't get warrants this month. They didn't get warrants the month after. They waited 3 months to get warrants on whether or not there's guns, whether or not there's jewelry. How about their cell phones? How about the computers? That gives me great pause when I see a case.
And I agree with the lawyer here, Pooh Shiesty's lawyer here, because if it's what they say it is, then they should have the evidence to present that instead of just he say, just like he said earlier. So me listening to all of this, I mean, unless they're going to come up with something, or they're just basing it off of Gucci Mane's testimony alone and probably his security officers at the place. Interesting take. Interesting take.
That takes that long to get warrants if you believe everything that was said on the evening that it occurs.
Does that have a path out of jail?
Yeah, hold on, let me take one from her because she was trying last night.
Can you say anything about the identity of RD? And then you also spoke about a social media post.
Correct. So, listen, I don't like when the government puts initials in and everyone takes a guess who they are. We all know who they are, right? I'm not going to say it's this person or that person. That's not my job to do. But certainly there.
RD was referring to Gucci Mane as his real name, or the initials of his real name.
Media posts of individuals that we suspect were involved in that evening where they're denying that it occurred or they're denying that they're giving statements to the government. I think that's unusual as well because
talking about Gucci.
The government put forward today seems to negate those statements, but we'll have to see how this all shakes out.
Okay, so what he's saying with the federal government or the FBI put forward today negates what Gucci Mane came out and said during his live stream, because I did see that he went live on Instagram saying that no, he didn't. He's not helping the FBI in their investigation. He's not cooperating with them, blah, 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 blah. I kind of figured that was a lie though, because the only way that's going to happen is if either A, they have video evidence, B, they have multiple witnesses that came forward, or C, he's a part of those witnesses. And with him being the victim, the alleged victim, then yeah, he's going to cooperate and, do his side of things. I'm going to give my take on this in a second. Hold up.
Listen, guys, Sam and I have had many, many cases together, right? We just finished a case a couple of years ago in San Francisco on the Cash App murder case. And whenever I talk to individuals, whenever I talk to media, I always say, this is not a straight road. It's always a very winding road. So we never know where things are going to take us. We got to look at the evidence as it comes in, and we'll see what's there. I'm just shocked that, when they say there might be video out there, they don't have it. There might be this mystery contract, they don't have it. Oh,
how do you know that?
Making copies. It's just a total guess. So, we're not here to guess. I'm here to look at the evidence, to weigh the evidence, and to make the best decision based on that evidence.
Your client just stays in detention until what?
Yeah, currently he'll stay in detention. We'll get discovery. We'll start going through that. There's going to be several motions that we're going to file, obviously, in the next couple of weeks, but that'll all come out and we'll give copies.
I don't know. I think his lawyer may be jumping the gun here, unless he really knows for sure that they do not have evidence as far as the videos and et cetera. That is going to be definitive evidence to say, yeah, Pooh Shiesty did this. I hope his lawyer's not jumping the gun here, because you're not finished with discovery. You don't know what could be brought forward, just like you said. I guess you're just thinking, or you're assuming that they will bring that stuff forward, but maybe they're trying to get more stuff out, figure things out to get more people in trouble. That could be the thing. They could be holding their best evidence right now to get the other people that were involved. What is his father doing? Pooh Shiesty's father should have stopped him and told him, this ain't the way. Y'all should have, you got money for these 3 lawyers right here. You got money for lawyers, entertainment lawyers, to get your contract worked out if there was an issue. Damn, bro, this is not the way to do it.
Look at my man.
Did the feds even interview any of the people yet? The alleged victims?
So my understanding is the FBI has, over the past 3 or 4 months, has interviewed none of the alleged victims, and allegedly they all have future dates to give statements. But I have no idea if that's true. We're basing it on what the agent said on the stand, that each one of those witnesses from that evening is going to appear and give a statement to the federal authorities. Not to the FBI, but that evening it appears from the material that they produced.
Wait. Did he say RD? Wait, let me make sure.
Authorities.
So RD never made a statement.
Not to the FBI, but that evening it appears from the material that they produced and from the agent's testimony is that RD gave a statement that evening, but since that evening has not given another statement. But
so they're going off of what Gucci Mane said. Interesting.
The FBI said in the future they're all scheduled to give statements, so we'll have to see.
And then they're scheduled to give another one. Okay. Wow. Interesting take. And it's crazy because apparently something must have happened to the point where their relationship went rocky. I don't know, if Gucci Mane does bad business or not, but I do see a lot of his artists that have left his 1017 label left basically empty-handed. And what I mean by that is some of that could be self-inflicting. Some of those artists are brand new. They don't know how the business works. They were probably expecting him to hold their hand or walk them across the street because they got, the music to create, but they just don't understand the business per se. A lot of them were young. They didn't understand the business. Gucci Mane knew the business and was like, hey, I can make money off of these young people. Let me handle that. He's an artist as well. He's a CEO as well. Yeah, it could have been, there's probably some room for error in there when he probably, is not taking care of them in the right way, or at least the way that Pooh Shiesty felt as though he should be taken care of, because it's a mess that this happened at a time where you don't know, how he felt as soon as he came home from jail, and, Gucci Mane maybe not looking out for him in a certain way, or he felt as though he could have been making more money because he saw his most recent single go viral or stuff like that. Anything could have came into play. People don't know what the contract entails. I don't know what the contract entails. We're only assuming. But I don't think that he will be doing this for just any reason. Like, I believe there is a discrepancy, but I feel as though Pooh Shiesty did it the wrong way. And I feel as though his father should be held responsible in this sense. Because I don't know how old Pooh Shiesty is, but I'm pretty sure he's a grown man. But I mean, his father should have known better, and told him, nah, let's do it the legal way, because eventually you're going to have to get lawyers either way. Let's do it in court, and you probably would have got some money up out of it. Their relationship is rocky. Their business relationship is out of the window, and he's still signed to Gucci Mane. Let's be real. If this was true, if all of this is true, that what they're saying, that he was there to get Gucci Mane's signature to get him off of that record label, that means that Gucci Mane signed that contract in duress, and that's null and void. So that means that he's still signed to 1017. So I mean, it was a dummy mission. It was really you're not going to get anything out of it unless he thought for sure, meaning Pooh Shiesty thought for sure that Gucci Mane wouldn't say anything about it. And he thought Gucci Mane was going to stick to the streets. And let's be real here. Gucci Mane is not the same person that he once was, that we all know him to be. Gucci Mane is not the street type to the point. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that he's not still street, but he's not the in the street type where he's going to be living by the street code or going by the street code on his daily life. Nope. I don't see that happening. Not at this time when he's older and, he got a wife. The majority of his time is at home and, dealing with his businesses. He ain't out in them streets no more, hanging around a bunch of people and stuff like that. He ain't doing that no more. But see, Pooh Shiesty is young. He doesn't probably know too much about the business, but he doesn't know how he can, maneuver that situation with some lawyers, some entertainment lawyers, and, possibly get some money up out of it, get a better situation going. It's just unfortunate that it happened that way, or it could have happened a totally different way. What if Pooh Shiesty came to the meeting threatening him verbally, saying, look, if we don't get a better deal done, then I'm going to leave the label and I'm going to get my lawyers involved. And what if Gucci Mane was the one that pulled out the guns and did the threatening? Well, we don't know, because there's no video evidence as of right now. There's no video evidence. I mean, yeah, they got pictures of them coming and leaving, but that's about it. You can't just sit up there and say, oh, that's something right there. We could ride off of that, when you just got pictures of them coming and leaving. You don't see any commotion in the videos or anything like that. Oh, and to the people that are saying that Gucci Mane is a snitch, I mean, it depends. I mean, if you live by the street code, I guess you will, call him a snitch. Now, is this going to ruin Gucci Mane's reputation? I doubt it. I doubt it very seriously. I mean, it's been a long time since we heard from Gucci anyway, as far as new music. And speaking of that, somebody sent me a link stating that Gucci Mane came out with a song about this. And let me play that, but let me hear it for myself, and I'm going to give my take on it. 1 second. Man, that's crazy. I mean, he basically spelled it out right there. So I just got finished listening to the song, and of course I can't play the whole song on YouTube. But I mean, he basically told the whole thing. He stated exactly what happened, allegedly. And he also said that he signed that in duress. So he did admit that a contract was signed. So Of course, that contract is null and void. He did admit that the guy, Big 30, was involved by saying that he was a fat boy, a junkie and all of that. And he admitted that, Pooh Shiesty's father was involved. If that is not a witness testimony right there, I don't know what is. But Gucci Mane got into his Gucci Mane bag and got Zaytoven to do the beat and everything. I mean, then Gucci Mane did Gucci Mane. It just sounded like the updated version, like he matured in a way. That's what it sounded like to me. It sounded like a grown man talking. It sounded like a grown man talking and trying to handle business. And again, this ain't got nothing to do with if he treated Pooh Shiesty wrong or not contractually. Because if he did, Pooh Shiesty should have handled that legally and not the way that he did. And I'm pretty sure he fired. I haven't heard his songs or nothing like that. But every time I listen to an artist from Memphis, man, they be going in. Everybody from Memphis be going in, man. It seems like it never fails. It never fails. I mean, ever since I was listening back to 3 6 Mafia, man, Memphis rappers been going in, male and female. So, and I'm pretty sure Gucci heard him rapping and was like, hey, let me get him now, you know what I'm saying? So, but, and you could have told Gucci a different type of lesson if that was the case, Pooh Shiesty. You could have told him a legal lesson where, where it hurt him differently, where it hurt his pockets. And, he could have, it could have worked out for the next person that signed to his label if anything was wrong, for sure. But is this going to ruin Gucci Mane's reputation? I mean, probably for the streets. And with him, making street music and stuff like that. But I doubt very seriously that he will see a big hit. But I do see that Gucci Mane may take a hit because he was the one coming out saying, oh, don't snitch, he'll never snitch, boo, 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 boo. So it is going to have an impact on Gucci. But for me, I'll still listen to, I'll listen to Gucci Mane music. And is he right for doing what he doing? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, if that actually did happen, yeah. You got that right. I'm going to make sure that nigga get locked up. But if it didn't happen and Gucci Mane just trying to get him locked up just to get him out the way because Pooh Shiesty looking for more money, or looking for money that's owed to him, and Gucci doing something dirty, trying to come up with something and trying to push him out the way, then, karma works both ways, So if you do wrong to people, things is going to get done to you in no manner in which it could be considered wrong. So even if it ain't going to be Pooh Shiesty, it's going to be whatever else is going to come. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking sides here. I'm looking at it like, hey, man, he did what he did. And so did Gucci. He did what he did. But I mean, as more evidence will come out, I may talk about this again, depending on the people want me to talk about it. But yeah, so far I'll be like, there's really nothing to go off of. It's really nothing but he say, as Pooh Shiesty's lawyer said. So we don't know what's up. The truth is not out there yet. All we could do is analyze what's out there right now and give our take. I'm going to leave it at that.
OCO Free Thinkers.
I make you think, yeah. I make you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you think, yeah. I made you think, yeah. I made you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you
He's
think.
here to make you think.
I make you think, yeah. I make you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you think, yeah. I made you think, yeah. I made you think, I make you think,
It's Dane